Hello and welcome back to part 2 of this non-starting mini quad, and on this part of the video we're going to be cleaning the carburetor on this. So let's crack on, let's get this carburetor cleaned on this little mini quad. Okay, let's get on with cleaning this carburetor. What we're going to do first is we're going to clean the outside, make sure, and we're going to use carb cleaner, that one there. We're going to give it a quick spray, give it a quick brush, and then jobs are good. The idea of cleaning the outside before we take the carb apart is you do not want to introduce any debris to the inside, so why cause yourself more work? So we're going to give it a quick spray. One word of warning, put a pair of gloves on. Don't put disposable gloves on because they will melt, they break. You need decent work gloves. This stuff is very corrosive. It works well. Keep it away from your eyes. Make sure you have got eye protection on and glove protection because it will burn. Right, we're going to give it a quick squirt. Don't need nothing major. Like that. A quick brush. And what we're going to do that, after we give it a quick brush, what we're going to do, we're going to get all the old debris out. Oh, just on the outside. We're not worried about the inside because we can blow that out in a minute. We just don't want any rubbish on there. Now, once we've done that, what you do, you then get the old faithful air line, and we're going to give it a quick blow, and just blow it all out. See that? Now, that's lovely and clean. Now, that's 100% better than what it was. Okay. What we're going to do now, we're going to put that carby down there for a minute safely. And because we're going to start taking the carburetor internals apart, we want this nice and clean. So we're going to clean this now, get all the residue out. Because if you don't, you're going to introduce it back into the carburetor. And that's not the name of the game. We want to get this clean. Here we go. One clean box. When you do clean your carburetor, put it in a plastic box so when you're spraying it, it doesn't splash everywhere. Simple simples. Right, what we're going to do now, let's have a look. Right, we're going to take the float bowl off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop everything into this. And another good thing, if you do it inside a box like this or a big bowl, you hopefully don't lose anything. It can't go anywhere, so it just falls in the bottom. Here we go. A little bit more now. I'm probably expecting this to be quite dirty or definitely grubby in here because just put that there here. I will just, while I'm here, do you remember the air filter from the last video, video 1? I've actually degreased that. I use, let's have a look. I'll show you what I use. Funny name, but it's called Jizza, and that's like gunk. And I've cleaned the air filter out so it's nice and dry and all the oil's gone, so that will be good for when we reassemble. So obviously that hopefully won't pull no crap in. Job done. Back to the carby. Right, we are taking off what they call the float bowl. Here we go. Now, if we look inside that, absolutely caked with grub and oil. So we're going to give that a blowout with carb cleaner in a minute. Here is your float. Again, do you remember I spoke about waxing? If you look at that, I don't know if I can get close enough, it's really, really quite oily. On my gloves, look. That's not going to help the situation. There's far too much oil in there. Here we go. So we're going to clean that as well. The main one we are after is the main jet, which is this one here. So we need to get a little spanner for that. And we're going to pop this off. So I'm going to nip over and get a spanner, and let's get that main jet out and start cleaning this, shall we? Okay, let's start cleaning this out. What I've done, I've taken the gasket out here, because if you get carb cleaner on that, that can distort them and make them swell. So I'm keeping that well out of the way for a moment. I'll just wipe that with a bit of cloth. Now, we've taken the float off. I can only go one way. And what we're going to do now, we're going to take, this is where the main jet, we'll take that out in a minute. We're going to take out the little needle, like that. Is there a needle in there? Maybe not. Let's have a look. We're going to pull that out, like so. Very, very delicate. You just got to take your time. There you go. And there should be, there we go. That's what I'm after. You see how small that is? Put that to one side, remembering how it goes. Right, so what we want to do now, quite a simple carburetor really, there's not a lot to it. We need to get this main jet out. Now these are normally, this is going to be the culprit I think. It's a 6mm little spanner, little baby spanner. They used to call them dynamo spanners. I'm showing my age now, but in the old days when you had dynamos on cars, you had dynamo spanners. Here we go. I'm still very, very strong smell of oil. Right. That jet, you should be able to see through that. It's absolutely blocked. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my gloves off now. Now actually I can keep them on. And I'm going to use what they call a carburetor file. And all it is a load of little bits of wire, but they're actually got grooves on them, so they're like files. And we're going to find the one nearest to that one, but with these you don't go in and out, in and out, in and out, because what it does, it takes a slight bit of metal off. We just need to clean this out. Well, that's blocked, I can see it. That's gone through. See what I'm doing? I'm just very gently a couple of times. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up a size, like so, and try that until I can't get it in. Now I think, there we go. That is, I think, the maximum size we're going to go on that. We'll go back through there, the smaller one. Through we go, that way. And we will go through, get me glasses ready, like there. And then we're going to blow a bit of this through, carb cleaner. See how the little parts, while you want to keep it in a box, we're going to go bosh bosh. Don't need a lot, both ends. See, that's now free. Before we cleaned that, that was not free. And we're going to give it a quick blow with compressed air to make sure we're 100% sure. And the other end. And back again to make sure. And then what you do, you hold it up to the light. Now you can't see it on the camera, but I've just tested that. Another test to do is just give it a blow with your lips and your mouth. That's working. That is 100% clear, so we're happy with that. That can go back in. What else have we got to clean? Let's give this a little clean, shall we? The little float. Like so. Put that down there. Keep it nice and clean. Like so. Well, we know the float bowl is dirty. Give that a clean. I'm going to let that soak in there for a minute. So what we're going to do now, we're going to attack the carb. Now basically, the rule of thumb is, if there's a hole in it, you fill it. We're going to blow in there. Don't forget, I've got my glasses on, because if this backfires and sprays in your face, you will know about it. It stings, even on your skin, so be very careful. So we're going to blow through there, through the main, through the jet there, through the needle. Give it a nice blow there. Any hole, could be a vent. So you blow everything you can see in this carburetor, even down the fuel. Where the fuel pipe goes, yeah, look. We know the fuel's coming through. Look, can you see there where it blows through? That's now clear. And then one more, as you say, one for luck. All over, job done. Right, we're now done with the carb cleaner. Let's have a look. Gonna put that there for a minute. Put that there. Just want to keep these separate. I think we were okay. I'm not going to disturb the needle there, the valve, whatever you call it. I forgot the part what you call it now. Right, so what I'm going to do now is gloves off, because we've actually finished with the carb cleaner. Put them away. And we are going to give everything a quick blow. So let's start with the actual carburetor body. In there, every single hole, down there, in here, in there, anywhere you can see, give it a clean. I'm happy with that. Float bowl, give it a blow, point it down so it don't blow in your face. Looking good. What else we got? We're going to wipe that and wipe that and wipe that. So what I'm going to do now, just double check this jet. I think someone might have been in there before. That looks like that's been tampered with, but hey ho. Right, we're going to take all the bits out now. Being very careful not to lose them. And how they come out. Like so. That sits like that. That sits like that. What I'm going to do, we can move this and we can start assembling. So let's move this out of the way. And we can start assembling this carb. Important, give it a quick blow, just to make sure there's no dust on here. Because after all the effort of cleaning it, if you've got some dust on here, you're back to square one. Here we go, job done. Give me your hands a quick wipe, don't want dirty hands either. Right, let's start assembling it. I think we'll do the needle first. That just pops in there. You've got to make sure that sits in there. Quite a nice little design this. That just pops in, sits in there. And you have a little pin that holds it in there. Let's have a look. That's a locating pin. Try and get that in there. A bit fiddly. Hang on a minute. I might have to get a little pair of pliers to do this, to hold this in, but we'll have another crack at it. Here we go, very fiddly. She's in, see that? That little pin just goes in there. Should have used pliers, but hey ho. And the idea of that, I will just test it. As the fuel comes in through the top there, which is pointed to there, that opens and that closes. So basically, when this is full up, that sits up, no fuel. When that's full up of fuel, can't get none in. When it's full up, when it's empty, that drops. Hear it? That's when the bowl is empty and needs to fill up. When it's full up, it stops it. Empty, full. So before we go any further, I am really happy that that mechanism is working fine. Next, we're going to go for the main jet. Again, doesn't hurt to give it another quick blow to make sure you're 100% sure. Little blow, put it up to the light. Absolutely spot on. I can see light through the end of that. That is perfect. Let's put that back in. Now these are brass. They don't need to be really, really tight. Do not over tighten these, because it's not good. Because if you strip it, carburetor's had it. There you go. I've just hand tightened that up. See that? Nothing major. What we got next, folks? I do believe we've got the float. Give that a clean. Again, there's no point putting it all in back together if you leave some of the parts dirty. Right, this gasket is going to be next. I'm going to be very, very careful, this gasket. I do not want to damage it, because otherwise I could put instant gasket, which is designed to be used with petrol, but if I can save this gasket, I will. So we're going to try and pop that in there, like so. That's gone together quite nicely. Right, the float is going on like so. That just sits on there, so as the fuel goes up and down, that sits there. There'll be fuel in. As soon as the fuel makes that lift, that pushes it and closes that valve there. Job's a good one. And last but not least, we've got the float bowl. Give it another clean, and again, it's not going to hurt to give it a blow. Doesn't hurt. And quite simple. We can see the shape of it, the way it goes. Put it on like that. Make sure the gasket is all cool. That is very good. Now, this is when I was talking earlier on in video 1 about pulling up equal. This is a situation where you want to pull up equal. Right, I'll get it till it bites, because you want this gasket to sit really true. So I've just started to nip. I've gone the other side, like so. And I'm going to go backwards and forwards, doing them up equal amounts till I'm happy. Again, you don't want to over tighten these because you'll strip them. See that? Just at the top there. I'm not going mad. I'm not giving it the big one. Just at the top, nip it up. Here we go. One there, and I normally go a couple of times. Here we go. 1, 2, and I can do it again very lightly just to make sure she's home. 1, 2. Cool. Okay, need the glasses for that. That, my friends, is one carburetor for a mini quad, cleaned using jet cleaner, carb cleaner, and what they call carb files. Get yourself a set of these if you do a lot of carb work. They are spot on. Anyway, so what we're going to do now, we're going to fit this back on the quad and we'll see if she starts. So let's get it back on the quad, shall we? Hello, back again. Right, I've put the carburetor back on. I didn't show that because it's just a reversal of how we took it off. So we've got in there a nice clean carburetor, clean jet, clean spark plug. We've got a spark, we've got compression. Let's get this outside and see if she starts. Let's get some fresh fuel in there with 2-stroke oil. Let's see if she starts up, shall we? Okay, and welcome back to Rich's Home Mechanics. We've got the little quad outside. We've spent some time on it. We've cleaned the carb. We've checked the spark. We've got compression. Now's the time and the moment of truth. I've not put the covers on or anything. I just want to see if it starts, basically, first of all. Let's give it a go. Now, this is the first start from the carburetor rebuild and the fault finding. Let's give it a go, shall we? Well, she's running and I've got to ride that, so keep an eye out on my YouTube, watch some Facebook, and you will actually see me ride this up and down the road, legally of course, and make sure it works before I move it on to the next owner, or a little child or little boy who wants to have a little quad. Thank you for watching Rich's Home Mechanics. Please subscribe, watch me on Facebook, watch me on YouTube. There's plenty more coming where this come from. Thank you very much, greatly appreciated.